I'd like to call to order the April 16th, 2025 meeting of the Public Works Advisory Committee. Can I get a roll call, Vicki?
Chad Dagley. Dave Nolan.
Excused.
George Robin.
Here.
Greg Lammert.
Here.
Jack Peterson.
Present.
James Myers.
Excused.
Wendy Propkop. Here. Kevin Watlett.
Here.
Mary Lalo.
Excused.
Pam Hobbs.
Excused.
William Fath.
Present.
All right, can we get the Pledge of Allegiance? Bill, you want to lead us?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we got an agenda in front of us for tonight. Anybody have anything they need to add or move? We're probably going to have a couple recycling questions, just a heads up over there, Mr. Bender. We're going to have a couple of recycle questions, I think, at some point. Probably just during our new business discussions, or after that. Okay, all right. Can I get an approval of the agenda?
Move to approve.
Take a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we're going to move on to citizen comments. Do we have any citizen comments tonight? All right, seeing none, move on to new business, and we'll talk about the collections and stormwater update.
Good evening. My name is Corey Sheets. I am the sewer maintenance supervisor. Here tonight to talk to you a little bit about what we do in sewer maintenance and what exactly it is we work on. So starting out, I have two different crews that work in sewers: the sanitary sewer collections crew and the storm storm maintenance crew. The sanitary sewer collections crew works out of the water and sewer division. The storm maintenance crew works out of the street division. So why do we maintain the sewer systems? First and foremost, it is to protect the drinking water. If the storm water that's going down the drains is heavily polluted or not operating properly, it can contaminate drinking water, as well as if the sanitary sewers don't stay within their pipes. They can also contaminate drinking water. Prevents damages to buildings. So on both sides, if there's a blockage on the sanitary sewer collection, it can back up inside your home through basement drains, through lower level toilets and things of that nature. On the storm water side, that's carrying rainwater. So if they're blocked up, obviously all that rainwater has nowhere to go, and it can infiltrate homes that way. And to preserve the environment and the ecosystems. So sanitary sewer in the storm water creeks and streams can pollute those streams, make them uninhabitable for the ecosystems, as well as storm water, if it doesn't go to the right place, can also do some damage to the ecosystem. So on the sanitary sewer collection side, we maintain 6,550 manholes. We have 236 miles of pipe. That pipe ranges from 8 inches in diameter all the way up to 48 inches in diameter. On the storm side, we have 18,000 structures that we maintain citywide, 302 miles of pipe ranging from 12 to 120 inches. 120 inches is 10 feet. That's big enough to drive your car through. So pretty big pipe on that side. You may be surprised to know we don't have just one single sewer system. They are two completely separate systems. The sanitary sewer system is wastewater from buildings. These are your sinks, your toilets, your washing machines, dishwashers, things of that nature. So all that water goes through a connected system of pipes. All the pipes are completely connected. It goes through the manholes, some pumps, and eventually ends up at the wastewater treatment plant, where it is treated before being released back into the environment. The storm sewers, that's your surface water from rain. Anytime it rains, that water has to go somewhere, goes through the storm sewers, it's a broken system of pipes, so not every storm sewer is connected to every other storm sewer in the city. So it just runs downhill to the nearest creek or stream where it goes back out into the environment. This water is often not treated before being released, as it is just rainwater. So what do we do to maintain these? So first and foremost, we perform annual inspections of the pipes and structures. We do this both visually by looking in the structures, visually looking at them, and then we use CCTV cameras in all the small pipes that we can't obviously fit in physically. Those cameras are small little robotic cameras on wheels, drive through there, we get a good look at the pipe and what kind of shape it is in. Another maintenance task we perform is clearing blockages. So on both systems, if you get a blockage, on the sanitary system, we often get blockages from tree roots, grease, foreign debris that isn't meant to be in the sanitary system. And on the storm system, it's often yard waste, leaves, sticks, things of that nature that block up the storm system. So when that happens, we have to clear those blockages to keep everything flowing. Repairing infrastructure. So as we inspect, we are writing down any deficiencies that we are finding and anything that needs to be repaired, and we make sure we do those repairs. That's anything from digging up a pipe to just sealing a leak in a stormwater structure with a chemical grout type material. And one of the most important things I feel is customer service. So we're here for our residents. When they call us, we go and we check out what the issue is and we work to resolve it. So the inspection of the pipe, I'll add also, on the sanitary side, we try to get through the entire system in 5 years. So we do a fifth of the sanitary system every year. On the storm side, because that is citywide, we do that in 10 years. So we do a tenth of the system each year. So what sort of challenges do our crews face? Tough environments. So we're outside, outdoors every day, oftentimes in inclement weather. There's a blockage when it's pouring down rain. We still have to show up and clear that blockage. Just because it's 20 degrees outside, there's an issue on the system, we got to go take care of it. Trenches are, the sanitary system is often 8 feet deep or more, sometimes up to 30 feet deep. The storm system is 3 feet or more in depth. So we're often working in trenches. We have to use trench shoring to keep those trenches open, keep everybody safe on the job site. Confined spaces, so anytime we enter a stormwater structure or a manhole, that is considered confined space by OSHA. So we take extra precautions when going into the system to do any kind of maintenance. And then time-sensitive resolutions. So anytime there's something wrong with the system, we want to get there. We want to get there fast. We want to find out what's going on as quickly as possible. We want to get it open and resolved as quickly as possible. The longer either one of these systems is blocked up or not operating properly, the worse the issue gets. So on the sanitary side, the longer it's blocked, the more homes get affected by it. Same thing on the stormwater system. We operate with a safety-first mentality. We use personal protection equipment when we're out on the job site. The main ones being safety glasses, gloves, safety-toed shoes, earplugs. When we are doing trenches, we are using trench shoring to keep that trench open, keep everybody safe. Confined spaces, we use gas meters to monitor the atmosphere within that structure or manhole. And that's a 4-gas meter. Monitors the lower explosive limit, H2S gas, the oxygen, and the carbon monoxide. And then we also have harnesses that we will put on when going down in the manholes, and we will tie off to a winch on the top side. In case anything were to happen, we can recover somebody very quickly. And then teamwork. So I have 2 crews. The sanitary sewer crew is comprised of 1 crew leader, 1 utility worker 2, and 3 utility workers. That leaves us 1 worker per 47 miles of pipe and 13 a little over 1,300 manholes. And then the stormwater crew is made up of 1 crew leader, 1 maintenance worker, 2, and 4 maintenance workers. And that leaves us 1 worker per 50 miles and 3,000 structures. So we stay busy with that amount of work going on. But also in a teamwork environment, these guys get to know each other on a very personal level. They work together like a team. They're like a band of brothers. And thank you. The last thing I'll leave you with is remember to keep trash out of the inlets and baby wipes from being flushed. Any questions?
All right, got any questions? Wendy?
Yes, ma'am.
I've had some neighbors recently, they had to have their sewer pipes replaced. One of the residents, they came out that day and everything was, well, I guess the bottom line is who does the final, landscaping of the yard? Is it your department or is it someone?
So on you're speaking specifically to the sanitary sewer side, I assume?
I'm sorry?
Are you speaking specifically to the sanitary sewer side?
Yeah,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah, so anytime we repair something on our system, we have a crew on the water and sewer side that takes care of those restorations. If it hasn't been done yet, there's a work order in the system for that crew to come by and take care of it all.
How long does it usually take? Because our one neighbor, they did it within a day, got it all landscaped, got it all taken care of. However, the other neighbor, whose yard is much more damaged, it's been over like a week that no one's been back to take care of the yard. And I was just curious.
It depends. The crew on that side that takes care of that work, they take care of the water and the sewer restoration repairs. Putting back yards and landscaping. So depending on what their workload is in that given time, it can be a few weeks before they get by there.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Bill?
How many lift stations do we have in O'Fallon?
Ooh, that's a good question because my crew doesn't deal directly with the lift stations. I want to say 17. Correct me
I
if
think we're up to 18 now.
18.
18.
Yes.
Okay. Greg or George?
Yeah, Corey, we have an inlet in our backyard, and there's 2 grates that are on top of the inlet, and then there's open space around the inlet. When really heavy storms come through and we get a lot of rainwater coming off Laura Hill, there's a tendency for those top grates to get covered up by debris.
Okay.
Is there a dome grate that might be able to be put on that? And if so, would that be provided by the city or?
If it's a city, assuming it's a city structure, yes, we could look into that. It depends on kind of how it's designed. Most of the dome ones are circular. So if where the grate fits is circular, we can possibly look into doing something like that. Okay. Yeah, the rectangular ones, I don't think they make much of a domed rectangular type. There's a lot of different products on the market.
Okay.
Scott?
Yeah, hi, Corey. Kind of on the same thing as George. The grates. Do we have grates at all the newer installations of the stormwater sewers? And is it too difficult to put grates on the older, just regular sewer openings?
So it depends on how, on the stormwater side, you have several different structures. So a lot of times along a curb, you'll have what we call a curb inlet, where the street kind of falls off into the inlet. It's got one open front side of it. On the area inlets and backyards, they'll often have more than one opening on each side. And then there's graded inlets. So it depends on how the structure is designed to operate, would depend on if we could put a grate on it or not.
When it comes to inlet inspections,
Yep.
is that on the 10-year cycle? System-wide, or
The
is that
storm
more-
sewer inlets, yeah, are inspected on a 10-year cycle, yes.
Okay. Okay. That seems to be a double or tripling of what we've been told in the past on inspection timeline. So that's the reason I ask it.
Okay, I apologize if that's the case. Since I've been in charge of the stormwater crew, it's been on a 10-year cycle.
So can you walk me through an inspection on one of those? You know,
Yeah.
you walk up and there's clearly, earth not up to the inlet structure. Are we coming in with dirt or are we just monitoring?
It depends on why the dirt is low. If it's low because of an issue with the inlet, yes, we will address the issue with the inlet and then regrade around the inlet to ensure water gets into the inlet properly. Yard grading is considered a property maintenance thing, so if it's just because the yard itself wasn't graded properly, then that would be on the individual property owners.
Okay. All right. Any other questions? All right. Thank you. All right,
you.
we're going to move on now to storm water management.
All right, hello everybody. My name is Randy Clark. I am the stormwater coordinator. I'm going to give an update on the stormwater from last year, some little updates we have, what we got coming up, and just a refresher, kind of what I do, what I'm looking for out there every day, all year from the residents, and how we handle the stormwater on my side of things. One update we have is in Chapter 405. We updated one of our codes, more or less just to point out more distinctive of private and public stormwater pipes and who is responsible for the maintenance of them. We are we have a transition point on these basins. So a lot of these basins, there's been a lot of confusion over the years, which really just the code wasn't written very well, and now it kind of points it out a lot more and more clear of who's responsible for what. So if you look at our picture here, this is obviously our GIS, and the purple is private, and the blue on this map is public. So technically, the way the code was written originally, just not really explained very well. The inlet you see on the bottom is our public structure that is ours to maintain. That's our transition, and from there down into the basin is actually private. So we're getting with GIS, getting all this switched over, getting our maps to actually be more accurate. If you just come in as a new employee, you look at the maps, you really can't justify unless you kind of know the code. So nothing really major changing here, just more clarity than anything. Just trying to get everything accurately as 100% accurate as we can moving forward, and when residents call us, we can kind of give them a better answer than we have to look into it. Mission Clean Stream this year was canceled. It was last weekend, so I don't really have no new updates on how much trash we got out of the stream this year. We do have some rescheduled dates. Earth Day, we're going back over to the Old Texas Roadhouse. We hammer that one every year. It's getting better every year. Since they got out of there, the trash has really been down, but just some of the homeless encampments are kind of the only pollutants there. Other than that, same update. Usually can't find too many streams that are dirty, which is a great sign. I'm in the creeks a lot, and I just can't find one where I can put 10 people in for 2 hours to take a lot of trash out. And that's great. The residents are doing an awesome job. A lot of people are aware of when people are littering, throwing stuff down the drains. They report it to me. They call me, which is great that we do that. Other than that, we do have a lot of private people that have called in to volunteer services. So of the 120 volunteers we had for Clean Stream, we're now going to do a lot of private cleanings through the next 2 or 3 months. And we're going to tackle everything we were going to tackle. It's just going to take a lot longer now. So that's a good sign. Here's some of the locations we were going to do. We added a new one there right here at Main Street and the outer road. A lot of the trash debris from Main Street just blows into that creek. I'm sure you guys can see it. It's kind of heavy overgrowth too with honeysuckle too. So we're going to look into maybe clearing some of that. And that's city property right there on that corner parcel. Here's some pictures from last year. I think I had the stream clean. It might have been right after I had this last year. So some of the volunteers that were out there, some of the trash that we took out of the one over by the Old Texas Roadhouse. And that's pretty much the standard that we get out of there. But it doesn't look as bad now. If we went out there today to clean it, I think we'd get a lot less than that. So it's improving, and like I said, I'm struggling trying to find places to clean, trying to come up with more and more ideas of how to use the volunteers to do stuff. Once again, I went back into the schools this year over at Assumption, did the pre-K kindergartners, read to them coloring books, taught them about water runoff. They love the little table that I do at the city. It's the same one I use at the Public Works Day. It's a real big hit with all the schools. I try to get into all the little elementary schools, daycares and stuff for the young kids, working on something for the middle schoolers now to try to do something with them, and with Zumwalt's West High, something to do with them too. Another new thing I did this year, which is not uncommon in most cities or even with Department of Natural Resources, is I did a creek analysis on Bellevue Creek this year. I got, I think it was 17 Girl Scouts to come help me out. The lady in the picture is my intern that we had. And what we did was we test the water for oxygen, oxygen levels, any type of bacteria, nitrates, you name it. We pulled out all micros and macroorganisms, and then you grade the creek by what you pull out. And actually, Bellevue Creek fared very high, so that was a good sign, the one that we tested, and it did really well on that. So that was a real fun thing. Looking forward to doing this again this year in a different creek, or maybe a different area of Bellevue Creek. So I'm going to try to do this every year. It was a lot of fun. The girls loved it. They're all swimming in the creek and stuff, so it was a good time. Inspection-wise, like I said, it's mostly just me. I've had interns the last couple of years that have been helping me. I got a part-time retired man right now helping me. But for the most part, we have 370 total BMPs and yearly that have to be inspected. 293 detention basins were done last year, and we're pushing 600 total in the city. And obviously, we have that broken up. Every 3 years, I try to get eyes on them at least one time. Per our permit, we need to see 60% of all of our basins once in 5 years. We're seeing them twice a year, or twice in that permit cycle every 5 years. So pretty much on top of it, a lot more than I'd say most cities are. Outfalls was a lot lower this year in that ward, just a lot older of an older section. And then we have 291 total outfalls, which those are the major outfalls. And that number changes all the time depending on how the federal level distinguishes what is a major outfall. It's kind of always changing. 50/50 program. We had another big one last year. I thought this one turned out excellent. This is the same angle, or same bend in the creek, but just one's upstream, one's downstream view of it. Yeah, this was an HOA job. It was getting close to the fence right there. The homeowner called me. We worked through the whole process. Once we got the Corps of Engineers permit, the guy, the contractor, that hammered it out in 4 days, I think. And I thought it turned out excellent. And then it rained the day I took the picture, so it actually looks great. On that, always taking 50/50s if we can. If there's a creek bank eroding and you want me to come look at it, it's a whole process of how we do it, but we can get you on the list and then just work from there. All that stuff's on our website to see how that all works out. Once again, we had the drone out. Little hiccup with the drone. Apparently, you got to have special licenses. So we are working through that. But you know what? We still got some good shots. But yeah, we have myself and another employee that is working through a license, and pretty much it's just that, you know, it's more as insurance. If for some reason it falls out of the sky and hits somebody, it's really the only reason. But yeah, so I got a couple cool pictures, but yeah, more to come with that. But it's going to work amazing for us. We have so many different spots that we can use it, and it really does help to get the aerial. And these are just a couple of the pictures, examples of just showing a basin and showing what a creek looks like when it's all clogged up. And obviously, I can't walk on water, so I thought those are great. Those are great for that. Pool discharge. Just a reminder, you know, pools are going to start opening up soon. People are going to start cleaning pools. If you backwash your pool, please do it in your backyard. Just let it just go freely through the yard. If there's a drain in your yard, let it just freely go over the earth. Let the earth cleanse it out. You shouldn't be discharging anything that's over 1 parts per million on chlorine anyways. If you're doing it, like if you're draining your pool and you got any type of sand or sediment or anything else coming out of it, You need to capture all that. Don't throw it down the drain. More or less, you just can't run a pipe, or can't run your hose down the drain of the sewer because it's going to have chemicals in it, and that's an illicit discharge. And either myself or code enforcement will be out there to let you know that. Some people drain it to the street and just put it right in the gutter line. I kick those back in the yard every time I see them. I don't mind that they're going in the street, but just let them run through the ground. And we're sticking with 15 feet back of the curb. So let the earth just naturally clean it for us. Nobody's putting chemicals in their pool and draining it the next day anyway, so odds are that the chemicals are very, very low because they wouldn't be draining the pool and, cleaning it out. We get a lot of these calls, like I said, throughout the summer. Investigate every one of them. Sometimes pool people are just dumping chemicals, and we have to inform them more than anything. Unless we physically catch them and see them harming anything, it's a tough job, and a lot of people do it at nighttime. Same thing with that. It's springtime. We're starting to get grass cutting. People are blowing grass everywhere but back on their lawn. Kind of like what Corey was mentioning earlier, blocking our inlets. If sticks get down there, then we got grass going on top of that. You know how that is. It's just kind of like a woven fabric. It stops it. Our last rain, I think we went to 5 inlets, leaves, and yard waste is down in there. It's the only reason they clogged, and they're flooding streets, and it takes us about, anywhere from 10 minutes to an hour to get those unclogged while it's pouring down rain. Along with that, we got pet waste getting thrown down. I don't have too many issues with that, but every once in a while, somebody's throwing their dog poop down the drains. Same thing, it's got bacteria in it. It gets into our water source, gets into our creeks. Just pollutes pretty much all the water and the wildlife that lives in those creeks. Illicit discharges. These are pictures from last year. Got a call, somebody throwing some oil down a drain. Obviously, another place where it shouldn't go. It killed all the grass. To fix that, it's not as easy as just spraying it down. You have to dig up all that dirt. You got to get in the inlet. You got to clean the whole pipe, everything. Got to document it all, show that it's clean, send it off to the federal level or state level with DNR. And I didn't know who did that, so I just put out door hangers, try to inform everybody in the area that, hey, we know. And somebody knows because they called it. The other one is a pool drain. Somebody was cleaning a pool, rehabbing a pool, draining it to the creek, and all that nasty, sandy, concrete slop went into the creek. Luckily, it was the beginning of the creek, and it was kind of dammed off right past that picture. So I got on them about that. Like I said, I didn't write no tickets or nothing, but they had to go down there, suck all that water up. They dug out all the material that was discharged in there, and the next day it was fine. So a lot of times it's just more informational stuff that you can't do. So we're not out there to give everybody a ticket. Some people just don't know. I mean, obviously this guy throwing oil down the drain, I mean, he should know that, but I have ran into somebody that said in the 60s you were allowed to do that. So what else? I still have our HOA subdivision guidebook online. I know a lot of times we get questions and calls, concerns of like who we're supposed to talk to, if this and that, and common ground and pipes, and is this my HOA? Is this the city's to maintain? So we have that on our website to kind of tell you who you need to call. It's kind of like a little HOA, starter kit. All the local utilities, all the numbers in the city hall for certain utilities and certain departments. Kind of breaks down the maintenance of your basins and who's responsible for all that, how that all works, and all the forms. Back to basins, which you guys know is probably one of our biggest things, BMPs and basins. The detention basins are inside the neighborhoods to detain the water during rain events. And the reason we have them, because you take a farm field that water ran off at a certain CFS for 20, 30 years, and then you put a neighborhood in it, it's going to increase it. So we put these basins in it, and they're designed to not increase the water flow off of the site. So they detain them, and they still release them at the same rate, if not hold them a little longer. Now, saying that, you will receive maybe water downstream for a longer period, but it shouldn't be any more extreme of water. We're not dumping hundreds of more gallons on you at one time. It just might be over a longer period because we have to detain it. And a lot of our water basins are our BMPs. Not only are they ponds, they will catch all your silt that's coming off your neighborhoods, a lot of your trash, pretty much anything that goes in it. And all these need to be maintenance. They all have their issues. They all have their erosions. They're all pretty much designed to fail over time. And we have to inspect them every year or every 3 years, however it is categorized as a BMP or whatnot. So, but all these are on common ground, and all of them are private. Either that be in a neighborhood or a commercial lot. We just kind of monitor all of it. We're not responsible for them. The city, I believe, owns under 10 basins in the whole city. So just let everybody know that if you have a detention basin, it's part of the HOA. I will come out and look at it because I have to inspect them, and then I'll work with the HOA or the property management to try to fix the issues that we have. And that's it.
Okay, all right, questions? We'll start with Wendy.
Randy, what does BMP stand for?
So it's best management practices. So there's a lot of different things. You have basins, you have apparatuses under a lot of commercial lots. If there's not enough room to put a basin, you might have like a structure underground that will separate your solids from your water base, and those also need to be cleaned out about once or twice a year. A lot of not gas stations, a lot of like the Burger Kings and stuff like that. They don't have the space to do something like that. They're separators. You also have like rain gardens as a BMP, pervious pavement, anything to that nature that just captures water, cleanses the water, and then discharges the water into our creeks.
Okay. Greg?
More of a comment and observation. Given that we have several Fort Zumwalt schools in the city, might want to remind them about the grass clippings. I literally drove by MG on the way here tonight, and their lawn maintenance people were there blowing all the clippings right out in the middle of Fallon Parkway.
Yeah, hopefully they blow them back in, but yeah, it's a nightmare. I know, man. And right now the grass is just growing with the rain, so everybody's cutting and blowing. But and the city offers the baggage. You know, you can rake it up, put it in the bags. We'll come pick it up. I don't know what the cost and the fee is of that. But yeah, the city does have something in place, so you can just pile it up and put it in a bag, put it on the curb, and they'll come get it. I don't know if it's weekly, but
I don't know, but for the school district, 'cause this was MG Elementary School where it was.
I don't know what their process is. I don't know if they can get it all picked up, but yeah, I mean, we'll keep an eye on it and tell them, hey, come on.
Get on them. It's fine. Wendy?
Randy, what is outfalls?
Outfalls is like where the discharge usually into the creek. It's the last run to the pipe. So there's not, like Corey was kind of saying with the stormwater pipe, they're not always connected. There's a discharge at the end. So that's usually the end of the pipe. It could be end of pipe. It could be a structure that almost flares open and then it dumps into the creek. And then, like I said, with the major and minors, the majors always dump into a creek. Just a normal outfall might discharge into a hole, like a field. So it's not directly going into the creek, but the majors are directly going into the creek.
Okay. Scott?
Yeah, I have just a comment. I want to thank the city for keeping the Clean Stream program going, and that's very great to see. To put it politely, it's so unfortunate for other people to have to pick up others' trash, and thank you for your enforcement efforts. Hope citizens call out or report violations,
And they are. That's like I said. We get a lot. I wouldn't say a lot. We get calls once or twice a week. So and so down at so and so's house is blowing leaves, or I get a video. And I don't ever prosecute on the video. I have to see it more than anything, unless it's a very clear video. But I will put door hangers out, and if you're getting a door hanger, somebody in the area knows, and that usually stops it. That's your warning. And we're not out here to write tickets on everybody. A lot of it is information for the residents. They don't know. Different counties, different cities have different rules. And we're pretty hard on ours, so we make sure, and I feel like the residents are on top of it with any type of littering, anything to that nature, of even the silt fences failing and mud getting on the street or tracked out. If you guys see it, I already seen it. Somebody already called it in, and then we're working on the contractors to get it cleaned up.
Good. All right, any other questions? All right, thanks, Randy.
Yep.
Okay, we're going to move on to the acceptance of the monthly reports. Before we do that, Wendy, do you have some questions on the reports?
I just have the acronyms that are used in these reports, I don't know what they mean. I don't know what they stand for, so I don't know if it would help all of us if you just type what the meaning of the acronym is one time only on the report. and that might help. Even if it's one time next month, then we know what they all stand for. Like stormwater, it's the MCM3. I have no idea what that is, you know?
Is that one of your things?
I might hit on MCM3 yet, so it's just what it is. So the permit that the city holds has 6 different kind of sections of it. One of them is public outreach, one of them is public information, one's illicit discharge, new construction, post-construction, and then internal. MCM3 is the third one, which is the illicit discharge. So that's one of the programs that's inside of our MS4 permit that we do have through the Department of Natural Resource that I personally monitor. Like the number 6 is all our employees have to be trained on really anything, erosion control, noticing grass clippings, and how to handle it, how to handle a chemical spill, how to handle a spill, and we have to send that out. So it's just one of the other things that we do within inside the permit of the grand scheme of things. But yeah, I can write all those acronyms out because I agree with you. I've been in so many different trainings where they start doing acronyms like crazy with FEMA, and you're lost. It might be 9 letters of an acronym, and they just call it some word, but it's really an acronym. So
When we got here tonight, Wendy's asking me some questions, and I'm like, man, I thought I knew what that was, but I'm now questioning myself as to what that is. So I think, like a little, applies to all the reports, just a quick little glossary of what these mean. One time probably is enough for now.
Yeah, that would really help, Randy. Thank you very much.
Okay, with that, can I get a motion to approve the minutes from no, I'm reading the wrong thing. Approve the public work and engineering monthly reports for January of 2025. Get a motion by Chad, second by Bill. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. All right, discussion of future agenda items. We have outside funding projects, public works facility, quarterly update, gonna get started here. Groundbreaking is next week, is that correct? Been moved to next Thursday at 4:30, I believe, for any of you that would like to go up and see the groundbreaking. Maybe you'll get to dig a hole. Wastewater service project update quarterly. Any other topics you want to bring up, Chad?
I did see something on Facebook as far as noise from the new police range. So maybe we could get someone from the department back in to give us an update on what's going on with that, or is it, unless somebody else might know?
I'll actually piggyback on that. I had my windows replaced in my house last Thursday through Tuesday, and wow, I'm a mile away, and I can't believe how many gunshots I was hearing. It is pretty loud. I knew what it was, so, and I'm like, oh, I'm hoping they're not doing this at midnight. But I was a little shocked how loud it was. George.
Yes. About environmental services, can we get Jim to come in and kind of explain what's going on with environmental services? Because right now, Mid-Rivers Magazine had an article about going to going back to the can, residence can.
Go watch last month's meeting.
Pardon?
Go watch last month's meeting. He was here.
Oh, okay.
We'll help you out. We got the answers.
Okay, thank you.
Greg, did you have some questions regarding that you would like to bring up, or?
I figured I should call.
Okay. All right, any other agenda topics? And next month, we are not going to have a meeting, is that correct? Because we're on Public Works Day up at Ozzie, the same day? You're going to update us on that. So anyway, we're not going to have a meeting in May. Our next meeting will be in June. Okay. All right, with that, I guess we'll move on to closing comments unless anybody else got anything. Scott, I'm going to start down with you.
Thanks, guys, for the presentations. Important stuff for our city to keep up with, and that's all I got. Thanks.
All right, Greg.
Yep, ditto. Thank you. Always appreciate the presentations you guys give.
All right, Bill.
Corey and Randy, thanks for the updates and the storm management. Appreciate that.
All right, George?
Yeah, Corey and Randy, great presentations. Randy, I'm really excited to see how you're going to work with, how you get to work with kids and schools and also the scouts on various programs that are available for Clean Stream and all that. So keep up the great work. Thank you.
Chad?
Yeah, Corey and Randy, thank you both for the presentation tonight. Very informative. And again, Randy, congrats. And I'm sure the scouts appreciate you working with them and getting whatever badge or whatever comes out of that.
Wendy?
I want to thank Randy and Corey for doing a fine job on their presentations this evening, and thank you for stopping by.
And echo everybody's thanks tonight, and offer my congratulations to two individuals sitting in the room tonight, Councilman Costello in election last week, and we also have Oliver Wexler, Councilman-elect from Ward 1 back here. So thank you for coming out tonight and getting to know us a little bit, and we'll look forward to getting to know you. With that, Councilman Costello.
Thank you, sir. Thank you to all the citizens out there that did come out and vote. We had one of the highest turnouts for election this year, which was pretty awesome. It's been really low for municipal elections. I think people are starting to finally see that the impact of what's happening locally is more impactful for them than maybe some of the other more publicized elections. So I want to thank you guys. I am not getting reassigned to Public Works. And it sounds like since you're not having a meeting, this is probably my last one. However, I will stop in, and my phone's always on. So give me a call if you guys ever have any questions, and look forward to work with you guys. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. All right, Jay, you got anything? Nope. All right, Mr. Bender.
Yeah, just a few things. The groundbreaking that you mentioned, so that'll be a week from tomorrow, Thursday at 4:30. So we rescheduled it right prior to the next council meeting there. Hopefully the weather works out for us on that one. Also on the, Mr. Robin, on the question about the recycling, we did have Jim here. So if you go back to the website and look for OFallonTV, they have all the old meetings there. You can click on it there and watch it there.
Okay.
And then at the water plant, we bid out the renovation project for our water plant. That ended up being a $10 million project. That contract will be going to the city council next week at their meeting. And that replaces the RO system, the chemical feed systems. Basically, the plant is 23 years old, and things are getting to the end of life, and we're getting in there and replacing those items. Let's see here. The Public Works Fair is scheduled for May 21st. That's a Wednesday. And that runs from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Ozzie Sports Park on T.R. Hughes Boulevard there. Let's see, the last thing is that Julie will be back at the next meeting starting in June as the recording secretary. So Vicki wanted a minute to address you guys and say goodbye. Oh, no, sorry. No.
I'll see you in the fall.
That's all I have.
All right. With that, can I get a motion to adjourn? What, Chad? Second?
Second.
All right. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you all.